So, Josh, first off, difficult afternoon against Northampton last weekend. What's the post-match reflection and analysis been like?
It's been pretty positive. Obviously, early on after the game, everyone was feeling a bit annoyed with themselves and stuff like that. And the team was obviously feeling a bit down. But obviously, we've regrouped this week. Everything's positive in the camp, and we're just looking forward to getting back out there and obviously trying to make up for that game on Saturday.
One positive, it must have been the possession. I think it was over 60% against Northampton. But what was missing in the final third to complement that possession?
It's hard to put a finger on exactly what it was, but I think collectively as a team, we just weren't good enough all over the park. We weren't just going forward. It was the midfield, the defence. It was a collective. So I don't want to say it was one thing, because we will get chances in games, and it's obviously whether we take them or not, we're just going to have to keep on creating chances to score. But I think it was just, you could say as a collective, it just weren't good enough.
Yeah, I saw Liam Feeney said about that as well, not being at 100% and making sure those days don't happen all too often. How important is it about the mentality of the squad to back that up and to go again, pretty much?
Yeah, it's massive. I think with this group of lads, we know what we've got to do to obviously make up for that result. And the littlest you can do is just go out there and work your ass off. As a team, as an individual, and then you'll reap the rewards from that. So I think going into Saturday, I think no one will be holding back. We'll all be organised. We've done a few things in training that the gaffer wanted us to do, worked on that. So we've just got to put it into practice now against our opponents on Saturday.
I want to ask you about yourself, Josh. You're an ever-present in the league this season. How much are you enjoying your football at Tranmere, and how much have you settled in?
Oh, massively. Settled in straight from when I came in pre-season. It's a newish group of lads anyway, so it weren't like I was the only one or the only two. But yeah, settled in really well. I'm enjoying my football. Happy to be playing. And I just want to keep on this run, keep on building with this team, because we've got a good team, and obviously keep on trying to get wins and move up that table.
When you hear or see that you're never present, how good is it to think that Mickey sees you as the number one in the, there's other good fullbacks at the club, but how good is it for you to think, yeah, I'm number one, the shirt is mine to lose?
Yeah, it's good. It's very good. Obviously, I'll always try and stay on my feet and be on my toes, and obviously always want to keep on improving to prove even more like, yeah, this is why I should be playing. This is what I bring. But yeah, obviously it's a good feeling. It gives you confidence going into games, and you just want to work hard for the team and obviously try and help them get the win, create chances and stuff like that.
And on the role of the fullback in general, because from when you started out at right back, how much have you had to adapt your game? We all know great fullbacks growing up, but even like modern fullbacks, you're looking at even the Premier League, for example, Trent Alexander-Arnold, João Cancelo, Reece James. In terms of the role as a fullback, how much have you had to adapt your game from potentially a bit more defensive to thinking about going further forward?
It's funny because when I was younger, obviously I used to play on the wing a lot. And obviously younger age groups played up front and stuff like that. But I used to play on the wing a lot as I was growing up to like probably 14, 15. And then I remember I played a game at fullback when I weren't in an academy. And that's when I got re-scouted. So obviously I went back to Birmingham, and obviously they signed me as a fullback. So from then I was thinking, I know I like attacking, and I know I'm fit, I can get up and down, but I need to obviously work on my defensive side. And obviously nowadays, I'd say a lot of the best fullbacks are probably better at attacking than they are defending. It's just getting that right balance so you can do both. And they're like major ones who are the best fullbacks in the league. Like I'd say for me, at the minute, I'm gonna go with. There's a few. They all play different styles, like Trent Alexander-Arnold and obviously Robertson. Their styles are totally different because of Liverpool, and obviously they've adapted to Liverpool's style of play. They can kind of commit forward, and their midfield would cover and stuff like that. But that's just an example. But it depends on your team. Depends what the manager wants from you. But I'd say I've adapted kind of defending, being a good 1v1 defender, and obviously the ability to get forward and cause them a problem is kind of defending in a way, and actually pulling their winger back. So that's if the least I have to defend, the more I'll attack to try and pin their winger back, if you know what I mean. That's kind of how I see it.
And when you're going forward as well, how much is it down to the communication with the midfielders or the central midfielders to say, I'm going forward, can you fill in for me, just to make sure there isn't that gap in behind?
Yeah, I think that comes from obviously the coach and how he wants you to be set up on the turnover. Obviously, we've got it set up quite well, and the gaffer, everyone knows what happens when a fullback goes and who covers, and obviously opposite fullback gets in and covers with the midfielder. So I think it all depends on the management and the team, but we've got it all sorted here. Everyone knows their roles and jobs. When one fullback goes, obviously the left back's in, and left back goes, right back's in, and stuff like that. So obviously getting the right balance so you're not getting split open by counter-attacks.
And you mentioned it yourself, Josh. Ultimately, a fullback, they are defenders first. But what do you get? Be honest. What do you get more of a buzz out of, getting forward or keeping a clean sheet?
I think that massively depends on the game for me. I think if you're playing against a really good side who have put you under a lot of pressure, and obviously say you go 1-0 up and you're fighting to hold the lead, I think you get more of a thrill out of keeping that clean sheet, defending with your team. But if you're getting loads of joy, you want to be the one that's creating chances for people, getting assists, obviously setting up goals, and even getting in there and having shots and stuff like that. So I think it depends on the game and the situation you're in. Obviously, if we're winning 1-0 away somewhere, I'd rather defend and keep that 3 points, keep the clean sheet, than be committing and maybe coming out of shape when I don't need to and stuff like that.
Good answer. I like that. Mansfield Town up next. They're the second bottom, but they've had good performances against fellow promotion chasers such as like yourselves recently. I think Exeter, Northampton, Port Vale. What do you have to guard against in particular against Mansfield?
To be honest, I know obviously Clough. He always gets his teams working hard, and he always manages to find results. I don't know too much about their team individually at the minute, but obviously the teams that are always in the bottom half are the ones probably that threaten the most, because they've got more to play for, more to get out of trouble. So obviously we'll need to be wary of that. We'll need to be on it. We need to work harder than them. We need to pass it better than them and make sure we control the game, because like Northampton, if we let the other team kind of get on top of us, control it, we kind of lose the hold in the game, and we're kind of always trying to catch up with them. And I think obviously after last Saturday, I think we won't have a problem doing that this Saturday.
And as a footballer, you'll be more than wary that the winter is coming, which means more games, including, of course, the FA Cup next week. This weekend is actually the last league game for yourselves until the 13th of November. So how important is it to put yourselves in a good league position before focusing on cups in the next week or so?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, you want to take as many points as possible leading up to Christmas, to put yourself in the best position for that back end of the season. And I think all the lads and myself are all the same. We want to get up near there by Christmas time, so we've got a better chance to get on a good run again and go again through January to obviously the end of the season. And yeah, we'll just see. We've got to keep everyone fit, work hard, stay as a team, stay united, and I'm sure we'll get it done.